Dino Luzzi energy drink. Yeah, it's that good.
Of course, the modern term for what was known as the jobber. Strange question. Frankie Williams, Steve King, Jose Estrada, Johnny Rods, Angelo Gomez. Should I go on, Mike? Should I go on?
Go ahead.
Guys like this, especially Frankie Williams, do they deserve any consideration for the Hall of Fame from Vince? I know some people are probably already laughing, but I feel like guys like Frankie Williams and yourself, certain people did certain things for a long time over there and did them very well. Any thoughts on the validity of an enhancement talent getting the ultimate nod from Vince?
I have to say, well, Johnny Rods was put in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Right.
And I think rightfully so, because he was with the company.
Right.
When I was a little kid going down to Philadelphia's 46th and Market to watch the TV tapings, he was wrestling. And here I am, years later, wrestling him. He was with the company so long, and he helped get some guys out there. I think he was training a few guys here and there and so forth. And but anyway, he was a very lucky guy. He was booked all the time, and he was deserving. The others, no, not deserving.
Not even poor Frankie?
WWE,
Piper's Pit Frankie?
There's a lot of guys in there that don't belong in there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Like the great Khali? I'm sorry. Did I say that?
So, Ron, people may not know this, but you wrestled in a three-man tag match when the Freebirds first came up here. I'm a big fan of the Freebirds. What was it like when those guys were coming up, and was there a problem because, they were from down south? Did you have issues with them? And by the way, your partner was Butcher Pete Doherty, right?
Right, that's right. Did I have a problem with them because they were down from the south? Is that what you're asking me?
That's what I asked.
No, why should I? Hey, they were a talent, exciting talent. The place went crazy for them, but I just don't think there was a long-term position for them being a six-man or a three-man tag team. That was the only issue, and they didn't last that long. I worked against them again in the Philadelphia Spectrum in my hometown with Rene Goulet and Charlie Fulton again, and they brought the electricity there.
Were they over with the WWE crowd?
Say that again, please.
Were they over with the WWE crowd or audience?
Yes. Oh, yeah, no question about it. Yeah, the people bought that, yeah.
You don't think it could have been Vince minimalizing talent from other areas that were actually, main event types? Because Vince has been known to do that. You think that he might have, watered them down purposely? Any chance?
It's hard. I couldn't give you my opinion on that. I no thoughts on that at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Certainly, that was a time. That was a time when he owned the company at that time, and he had a mission in mind. He just didn't wake up the next morning and say, "Hey, I'm going to start stealing all the talent."
All right, we'll be right back with the great Ron Shaw after this commercial break.
That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, where we have pro wrestling superstar Big Ron Shaw. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight.
All right, Ron, I'm going to take over for now. Okay. Hogan, Morales, Backlund, Sammartino. You've seen a lot of great champs. Who was bigger, Sammartino or Hogan? Now, I already know he's your personal favorite, Bruno, but was Bruno bigger than Hulk Hogan in the long run? Your thoughts?
Bruno was bigger in a sense that, he promoted the wrestling. He was the wrestler's wrestler, a man that came out into the ring every night without a jacket, without this, without that, had the championship belt. And that was just as much, as a turn on to the fans as Hulk Hogan coming out and his headband tearing off his shirts and so forth. Mm-hmm. And, in my opinion, I always opted for the wrestling. I'm old school, like a lot of guys still are today.
Sure.
But, I'm not taking nothing away from Hogan. But, of course, my favorite was always Bruno Sammartino. And, at 8 years old, I loved watching him. As a kid, I used to buy wrestling books and this and that, and everyone had to have Bruno Sammartino in it, of course. And very fortunate to be good friends with Bruno. And unfortunately, I never was able to wrestle Bruno. He did interview me in Allentown when he was the color man when we were doing the international wrestling tapings, and a couple times, I had a match where my tag team partner who turned on me, and I bled in the ring and so forth. So we had a war, pretty much, me and him, and he interviewed me. But that's the best memory of Bruno I can have is it would have been wrestling him, but he at least interviewed me 2 times during that time. And it's a great memory to have in my lifetime.
Absolutely. Bob Backlund in the middle of Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan. Do you think he doesn't get enough credit, being sandwiched between two such large legends?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Did he think that? Who knows? He was champion. How long was he champion for? 3,
almost
4,
6
5
years.
Like that.
Almost 6 years. Yeah.
But he apparently was a very good champion. I wrestled him numerous times. I was the executioner, and I wrestled him for a championship belt in a spot show. And they were crazy for Bob Backlund, because of course of his past amateur status and so forth. So that was a different type of a wrestler, But it seemed like it worked out in history.
I think so.
Well, Bob
I think so.
was in studio. He's genuinely a great guy.
He was awesome.
But let me ask you, Ron, since in the land of Ron Shaw rosiness,
Rosie?
Dale Cole, who's been on the show, he's the brother of Tom Cole, who actually took his life about a year ago, had issues with sexual harassment and sued the WWE. It was called the Ring Boy Scandal. Mel Phillips and Terry Garvin. Did you ever hear about these Ring Boy scandals? Did you see this stuff going on? And did you see Mel Phillips and Terry Garvin doing this type of stuff?
Well, here we go again. Again, this is a question that you said you were going to pose to me on the show, and I didn't want to answer this here. I mean, this is a little bit of something that's been in the past already. I don't think your listening audience is interested in hearing about this, especially out of my lips. I don't know nothing about that because, I minded my own business, okay? I minded my own business.
That's a fair enough answer.